This is FIBA Podcast. Thank you for joining us in our morning daily devotion.
Dearly beloved, yesterday we explored the implications of the question of eternal values that Jesus asked. He called us to assess our priorities, whether we value the intangible eternal or the tangible temporal. Today, let's look at Matthew chapter 23, verses 17 to 19. In this section, Jesus is calling out the deviousness of the Pharisees in the matter of making oaths or swearing. Hebrews 6 and verse 14 gives us some clarity on the purpose of swearing or taking an oath. It says, men swear by someone greater than themselves, and the oath is meant to confirm what is said and put an end to all argument. An oath was required to confirm and declare the veracity of a claim. An example is given to the Israelites in Exodus 22, 10 and 11. If a man gives his neighbor a domestic animal for safekeeping and it dies or is injured, the dispute between the neighbors is settled by an oath before the Lord to confirm what the neighbor claims. Although there were stern warnings about taking the name of the Lord in vain, as in the third commandment, and about taking oaths lightly in Leviticus 19 and 12, swearing and taking oaths was common practice in Israel. And so, in Deuteronomy 23 verses 21 to 23, there is a firm and strict instruction to the people to keep the oaths they have made. Often, oaths were taken thoughtlessly, and so it became hard to keep them. Fear of not keeping an oath was inbuilt into the psyche of the Jews. The Pharisees cashed in on this. They split hairs to define which oaths were binding and which were not. And this they did in ways that benefited them. Therefore, the scenario that Jesus was calling out. You see, the temple is made sacred by the presence of God. The gold in the temple is made sacred by the sacredness of the temple. The altar is made sacred by the one to whom sacrifices are offered to at the altar. Yahweh, Israel's covenant God, and ours as well. The gifts on the altar become sacred because they're offered to God. In reality, the sacredness of all things that were classified as binding or not binding on oaths, they actually became objects to swear by because of the sacredness imputed to them, since they were in the circle of worship offered to God. So Jesus sums it up to say, he who swears by the temple swears by God who dwells in the temple, and expands the thought to say, he who swears by heaven swears by God on the throne. That is why in Matthew 5 and verse 37, Jesus tells us, let your yes be yes and your no be no. The Christian must live a life that is of such integrity that he or she does not require to validate their words with an oath. Jesus calls out the duplicity of the Pharisees in attributing value to that which is not of real value. Of real value is the owner and giver of all things, God. You see, beloved, the earth and all there is in it, the things we enjoy and use, the knowledge that helps us innovate and create useful things, everything comes from God. Even the spiritual gifts we enjoy and exercise are from God. But we're in constant danger of glorifying the gift, especially the higher gifts, like those of prophecy, healing, tongues, dreams and visions. We tend to glorify these because they display power and are more attention-getting and glamorous. And we glorify these over the giver. And that, beloved, is as dangerous as swearing falsely on God's name. For we're taking away the glory due to his name, and God does not view that lightly. He is God who has declared that he will not give his glory to another. Would you like to pause and think of all that you value in life? Possessions, relationships, career, success, spiritual gifts? Would you want to pause and give glory to the giver of all of these? Would you want to pause and look at the way we worship in our churches, at the way we treat the things that belong to the church? Are we giving value to the real thing? Do we understand the real value of the things over which we dispute and fight for? Can we stop to value the giver of all things, because He alone is the one of real value.
Dear listener, we are here to stand with you in your time of need. We want to pray with you and for your prayer request. Do you need someone to talk to? We are here for you. Call us or send a message at +91 636 425 2164 +91 636 425 2164. God bless you.